How are you tonight? This is a pop-up for real. Myiah and I decided, ooh, we be starting all over. We
It's
go, we
time to
already
dance.
it's time to dance, honey. So Myiah and I decided to pop in on tonight. She has been a busy bee today, and she decided that she wanted to come on to Conversations with Celena and just have some real talk. So Myiah, welcome to a special pop-up edition of Conversations with Celena, girlfriend. How are you tonight?
I'm glad to be here. I'm doing good. Another day above ground is a good day.
That is the truth. That is the truth. So we have been talking about getting together about your new book, Signed. We just want to go ahead and talk about that for just a second. But while we give people a moment to come in and share the video, please be sure to share the video. We'll be right back. Okay. So take a moment, share the video. We'll talk with Myiah about her new book, Signed, and her book prior to that, because it's not even an old book. She is writing them and spitting them out. I'm telling you, she has another book in the making. She hadn't admitted to it yet, but her life is another book literally in the making. So y'all go ahead and share the video and we'll be right back.
Oh, I love that. You surprised me. I love that commercial. I got my own commercial. I'm going up. I'm going up, y'all.
Girl, you're so
Prices
crazy.
just went up. I got my own commercial now.
Yes, is that the truth,
Prices just
right?
went up.
I didn't know. I didn't tell you. I was gonna play it before we got started. I said no. I even added in where y'all went to go feed the homeless
I
last.
saw it. I love it. Thank you.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
love it.
So you have to give me any edits that you want, and I'll send it to you. So
I like it. I like it all.
okay, Mama. So listen, I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna relax. I ain't even gonna sit up straight. I'm just gonna chill tonight, and
Not laid back.
look, all the way laid back. Yes. But I really do appreciate you coming on here with me. And y'all be sure to go to the bloodblocksit.com. You can get shirts, you can get your copy of The Blood Blocked It, which is her first book, and also Signed. But Myiah, what prompted you really to write that very first book? I think that'll be the segue into just real talk, because that book, I read it and I spoke to some people who also read it, and you're just right to the point. I mean, from the first page to the last page, there's no fluff. It's like, let me just tell you, and you dive right in. What motivated you to just write that very first book?
God. God told me to write it and I wrote it. And I was well into writing and I was putting like, well, it started like this and da 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 and blah 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 blah. God said, you can't put me in no box, girl. Go back. So I started over and no fluff. I ain't no fluff. If you know me, to know me is to love me. I get straight to the point. And that's what I did in the book. I got straight to the point, so people can read it, and they won't get bored and be like, I don't want to read this. When you first read it, they're like, dang, she was molested. Dang, she was abortion. Dang, she had this. Dang, she had that. Like, it's light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how long the tunnel may seem, it's light.
And it's not a train, right?
Yes.
Like, it's a brain. But
You
it's
gonna
truly
come
true.
out.
You're gonna come out of it. Yes, you're going through it.
Yes. And that's
My
what prompted me to write it.
Maya, I love the accent.
Let me hear yours. Hey, baby. Let me hear your hey, baby, Miss Sunshine.
Girl, I be serious. Look, you started it, baby. Hey, baby, that's my baby.
She
And
from out the night world, y'all now.
that first time we went live, and your mama was in the chat, you was like, "That's my baby," and ever since then, I be saying, "You my baby." I can't say it like the real New Orleans, but you my baby girl.
You officially from out the night world. You got it down pat. Yeah, but God prompted me to write my book and he brought me through. Good thing I don't look like what I've been through. A lot of people tell me you don't look like you was this, you don't look like you was that. It's because God made me new.
Well, what
And
is
it's
this and what is that? What is, just go ahead on and put a this and a name to the this and a name to the that.
being in the street selling drugs, running with people, because I don't want to put their stuff out there. I'm only talking about mine, running with just street people, being molested, being on drugs, being going through domestic abuse, like being suicidal, dealing with mental illness. I was dealing with anxiety and panic attacks real bad, like a lot,
Mm-hmm.
a lot. Dealing with rejections, dealing with insecurities, trying to find out who I was. Because when I say identity crisis, a lot of people be like, oh, you want to be a man? That ain't what I mean. I mean finding me. Like finding me, like finding out my true identity in God. I ain't want to be a transgender.
Let's just make that clear. Okay, comedian. I don't know why your name is not showing up. Hey, Sunshine, this comedian that moved on up to Houston. Hey, Vanessa.
Hey,
Yes, comedian MC Bacon Bits and Vanessa and Serenity. They're all saying, "Hey, Maya. Hey."
hey, y'all.
So, what pushed you to the streets, Maya? What pushed you to selling the drugs? What pushed you? We know what brought you to writing the book. God brought you to that. But what pushed you into the streets?
Well, I got molested at a young age. So I felt like nobody cared. Like the streets accepted me with open arms. Like, come on, baby, we here for you. We right here. And the streets protected me. A lot of people, that's why I found my protection. That's why I found the drugs in the street. I was numb. I was protected. Well, that's how I felt. That's how the devil made me feel. But the molestation pushed me out there because I found my identity out there. I could identify with them. I understood they hurt. Birds of a feather. So we was flocking.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. Oh, Lord. So, if you could go back, you know how one of the questions is if you could tell your, um, how is it?
Younger
If
self.
your future self, your current self could tell your younger self something, what would it be? So that I mean, most of us, okay, I'm gonna say this. Most of us, if we could go back and change it, a lot of people say that they wouldn't even go change it because they are who they are because of what they went through. But
Yeah.
you know, to save a child, to help a child, if you could go back and tell your younger self something, what would you tell your younger self?
I'm sorry. I will apologize to her. I will tell her our dreams that we planned out of being a surgeon didn't come true. That it's not gonna be easy, but we gonna get through it. It's gonna be a lot of hurting and dark days, but we gonna get through it. I'm gonna apologize to her for not for not being there for myself. Cause sometimes you can be there for other people and you neglect yourself. I neglected myself for a long time.
Mm-hmm. A lot of us do.
Yes, I neglected myself for a long time. I let pain lead me down paths that should have never been. But people deal with pain differently.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell her I'm sorry. I apologize to her.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to, and a lot of times we tend to run from that little girl because we grown now. We don't want to face her, but sometimes we have to look in the mirror and tell her, I see you. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to take her to the cross. And we have to let God heal her. And we got to just heal because it's gonna forever pour in your life. As an adult, that little girl still inside you, that little scared girl that, oh be quiet. I'm gonna pull your pants down. Don't tell your mama. She's still in there. She's still in there. And you can be married or in a relationship and somebody can grab you a certain way and it'll trigger you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never knew how bad it affected me until I got into a relationship and they grabbed me a certain way. And I'm like, ugh, like don't touch me like that. And I had to later wind up explaining to them, what happened. I'll never forget. I was watching I'll Spit on Your Grave. And in the movie, they have a rape scene in there. They raped the girl and then they buried her. And I watched that scene and I just broke down crying. Like it was hard for me to watch that. And that's when I knew, like, we tend to hide things like that. Really, that molestation really affected me. Like, and I was still dealing with it. And I knew I wasn't healed and it was time to heal.
Mm-hmm.
I was tired of numbing it. I was tired of running from her, from that little girl, because you have to face her. That's the only way you're going to heal.
Mm-hmm. And now that you are healed, you are
And healing.
you are healed and healing, and you're taking that pain like I am, and it is now your purpose. And you're trying to, no, not trying, you are helping others to accept what has happened, because a lot of times, like you said, we'll run from it. We don't really want to face it. We don't want to accept it. We brush it up underneath the rug, shove it in the closet with the other skeletons, and slam the door shut, and go check on it every now and then because it's hiding. But once you expose them bones and them skeletons and all of that junk and trash and garbage, it is so freeing. But as a young child, you don't understand that.
You
As a
know,
young child, you don't know the power in your words. If you tell it, even if you tell it to someone that does not believe you, don't stop, because there's somebody out there that will help you. You just have to find that person. And with anything else, you can't stop. So it's our job to help educate people, children, parents, whoever, counselors, teachers, whomever that may, it's not that they don't know, some may not, but some just may forget. If they haven't experienced it, they don't understand, because we have some situations going on right now that have had me out of commission. um
hmm
when I come live, Sunshine tries her best to be sunshine, and even if it's nighttime, the moon still shines. So y'all know Sunshine name mean the moon goddess. So I'm gonna try my best to shine no matter what's going on. But these particular situations are very hard to deal with when it hits so close to home, where children are being hurt. And it's like, what can we do? What do you do? Because it can't keep just being a little slap on the wrist. Something has got to happen in order for it to stop. If there's nothing to fear, then you continue to do it. And we cannot put the responsibility on these children saying they should have told and they should have whatever. Yes, we want to encourage them to tell, but we need to say, How do we stop it from happening so that they don't even have to overcome the trauma, overcome the
Right.
obstacles of being molested, raped, sodomized, whatever the case may be? What do we do? How do we do it?
That's right. You right. And at the same time, Miss Sunshine, like it's time for parents to start standing up because you just asked me what pushed me in the street. The lack of feeling protected. I felt like the streets protected me. So I wanted to be protected. I wanted somebody to stand up for me. And that that is it's a healing process. Like you just want somebody to be there for you, somebody to be in your corner, somebody to grab you and be like, I know it was wrong and I'm sorry that you're going through this, but we gonna get through this. And that's why I speak, that's why I write, to let people know you gonna get through this. Like it may feel like the end of the world. It may take therapy, it may take prayer, it may take whatever, but you can get through this. But parents need to start standing up because it's a spirit. The devil can't live in the light. You have to expose. He can only operate in darkness. As long as we hiding it under, pushing it under the rug, closing it in the closet, those are dark places. Until we start opening the closet and throwing the bones out and throwing the skeletons out and pulling up that rug and sweeping from under it and exposing stuff, nothing never gonna change. It's gonna keep operating. It's gonna go from generation to generation to generation to generation. It's never gonna stop. And that's why we have a generation of hurting women. And not only women, hurting men. And men don't really speak on it. Because people gonna be like, oh, you got molested, you gay. Or you know what I'm saying? Man touch you, you this, you that. And they don't speak on it. It's a lot of hurting people. That's why I pay to be kind. Like I try to be kind to everybody because people are hurting and they holding their hurt because they seen generation after generation what goes on in this house stays in this house. You don't say nothing. Some stuff you take it to the grave. No, not no more. We ain't taking nothing to the grave.
We
We
going to the
taking it
grave
to the
empty.
police.
We look, we're going to the grave empty. The gifts,
Okay,
we gonna have used them. The cup, it's gonna overflow, and
that's right.
we don't
We
want to
not
have.
gonna be like Elisha. They not gonna throw nothing on our bones and it's gonna come alive. We gonna be depleted when they put us in the ground. We gonna happy to. We gonna be like, all right, God, I'm done. I done did all I can do. Go on, come on now, come on, take me home.
Oh gosh,
it's
yeah.
it's so sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. And I try not to get in my feelings about it because
Help
I've
it.
been through it and I know how it is to be there. It's a dark place to be. It make you feel like you did something wrong and you didn't do nothing.
Mm-mm,
And
mm-mm.
especially when you don't tell at the moment, people make you feel away for not telling. People make you feel away for still having some type of love or compassion for the predator. Like they make you feel away like you supposed to hate them. You supposed to do this. The person that raped me and the person that molested me, they were close to my family. One of them were family. I didn't have a choice but to be around them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't I didn't have a choice. And the first thing they tell you is why you didn't say nothing then. I didn't know how. I didn't know how to say nothing. They said if I said something, I was gonna get in trouble. I was a kid. Why you didn't notice nothing was going on when I had to go to the doctor? How come that didn't raise a question in your head when I had to keep going to the doctor when the doctor was saying something not right?
Mm-hmm.
Something going on. She shouldn't be burning like this. Where were your antennas? Why they want to put the blame on you all the time?
They want to put the blame on you.
So I strive just to be the parent, even though my baby, my daughter, and my son probably feel like I hover. I'm gonna be hovering because I refuse. I refuse not to stand up for my daughter. I refuse to be a parent and my daughter tell me they touch me and I don't do nothing about it. I refuse to let that travel down to my kids and my grandkids. I refuse. If I can't help nobody else, I'm going to try to protect mine.
Mm-hmm.
And that spirit will try you. It'll try you because it had an incident where somebody tried to try my baby. Another baby tried to touch on my baby. But he don't know no better. It's what he was seeing. And it's it just gotta be stopped. It just gotta be stopped. I was so mad because it brought up feelings in me. It made me feel like I was a bad parent. It
Girl.
was
Yeah.
I
I'm trying
cried, I
my best.
cried, I cried, I cried, I cried, I cried. I still cry from time to time about that, about my baby.
Girl, and it's just not even your baby. Like she our baby. She just girl, just you saying it just made me want to cry all over again. Cause I was there. I saw the hurt. I saw the disappointment in your face and the words that you said, like you felt like you failed her and you didn't at all. Like, but as a mother and as a mother that has been molested, I could understand. Like I understood where that was coming from, but I wanted you to understand that you didn't fail her. Um, and you did stand up for her, you know? And every child can't say that. They can't say that my mom stood up for me in a situation where I needed her to stand up for me.
Right.
So
And then you have to be careful in situations like that. You don't want to just act out of anger because you don't want your child not to tell you nothing. Because of course your child don't want to see you get in trouble. It's a delicate situation.
it really is a delicate situation, and you want to talk to them to let them know that having that conversation is okay. But like we said, you know, you don't want to keep talking about it because the more you talk about it, because they're like sponges. So the more you talk about it, the more they're like, oh my goodness, you know, this happened to me. Whereas you know what happened, if therapy is needed, you know, but if something happens down the line, then you'll know the root cause. You know, it won't be like, well, what's going on with her? I don't understand what's going on with her. You'll know where to start. Let's see if it really has affected her. Because right now, she's still the precious little baby and she's running
Right.
around like asking for a cheese whiz and Cheetos and cheese puffs and going back to being a child. And thank God that it wasn't robbed, it wasn't snatched from her like these other kids that have just been robbed of their innocence and not able to experience that beautiful moment of, you know, sharing that with their husband if they so choose, you know. And it's not right, it's not fair. And when I tell you, when it came to me and the comments that were made, I couldn't go to sleep. I was every my ears, my eyes, my nose, and smoke was just coming from every angle because I was so hot at the fact that the comments, I was like, you and people like you are the reason that these children don't want to say anything.
That's
But
right.
people like us, we're here to say, you have a safe space to talk, you know, and the only time that you go to the authorities is when it's required. But if you just need to talk, if you want to be in the presence of someone who's been there, done that, you know, here we are,
That's
basically, is
right.
what we're trying to say. But
That's right.
it's so heartbreaking.
It is. It is.
And you do get up in your feelings, way up in your feelings
You
when it
do.
comes to stuff like this, especially when children are involved. Because my question is, what happens? What's happening? What's what's taking place?
But I could tell them this. If because the person that molested me, He didn't go to jail for molesting me. He went to jail for molesting another person. So I got to see him sit in jail for molesting another person. God sit high and he look low. And if nobody stand up for you, God see, and he will stand up for you. He gonna stand up for you. He will. He will. He said, "Vengeance is mine." So, and he can fight better than me. So I just, oh Jesus, you know. And then coming from where I'm from, like I don't want to be sitting back in jail, and I have to constantly check myself, like Myiah, God wouldn't like that. Myiah, don't do that because I'll be ready to go sit in jail behind my kids. Somebody touching my child. I'm a work in progress. So
You're
I'm just
right.
gonna tell the truth. I'm ready to sit in jail and smile on my mugshot picture. Yep, I sure did. I did it. I'm a work in progress because the issue scarred me. I know where that can lead. That led me, man. I lost 15 years of my life. Well, God used it for his glory in the end, but I was on drugs at 15. I was a 15-year-old drug addict, popping pills, big boy pills, like not just, oh, doing this. I was really drugging because I was hurting. I was hurting. I was hurting. And I know those babies and people that dealing with that are hurting. Like, I just hope they find their healing. I found my healing in God, in therapy, in writing, and also just coming on here and talking about it. That's helping healing me because I just went through a recent situation with my daughter with that. So it's a lot.
It's not even a month old, is it?
Nope, nope. And my baby 4 years old. My
Mm-hmm.
baby 4, and I had to revisit my situation all over again. Like I had so many emotions, man. I just have to give it to God because I can't do it. It's too heavy for me to carry. So I have to give it to him. It's too heavy for me. It's too heavy. And shame on any mother that know their child is getting molested and they protecting the molester. I don't care if it's your baby daddy. I don't care if it's your son. I don't care if it's your brother. I don't care if it's your daddy. If you gonna put anybody before your child or any child and knowing adult is touching a minor, a child, shame on you. And you're gonna have to answer to God for that. You're gonna have to answer to God for that. And they have a lot of mamas out here that'll pick a man over their child. I done seen it. It's happening. I see it in my family. I don't have to go outside to talk. I'm talking about within my family. This is going on. Scoring their kids. I'm watching their child suffer because of, oh, you must have liked it because you didn't say nothing. Shame on you. Shame. Shame on you.
And I was telling my friend today, I said, you helped me when you told me the words that, because she had to defend a family member who, the rest of the family was like, she is with him and she must like him and or she must like it and all this kind of stuff. And she said, you know what? Y'all are so wrong for that. You're so wrong for protecting him and acting like he is not at fault, but she is. Why is it that society always puts the blame toward the victim? But she's like, no, your body is going to react to physical touch, period. That's what we're made for. That's what we're built for, that hugs and kisses and touches and stuff. And a lot of times they don't just come aggressively at you. Sometimes they do, but a lot of times it's a whole grooming process of telling you you're pretty and buying you little gifts and starting out with the shoulder and moving across the breast, just moving those little subtle hints just to see what the reaction is going to be.
That's how
And
I
before
start.
you know it, the hands are all the way down in your private area. And
That's right.
it's like your body is going to respond to the physical touch, whether you want it or not. And when you're a child, you're not of the mental capacity to give consent, period.
That's right.
So don't come. See, I'm gonna let you talk because I'm Sunshine, right? But Sunshine is hurt. I've been just sitting, saying, Lord, what can we do? What is being done? You can't go bombarding into somebody else's situation and you don't know anything about it. But from an outsider standpoint that's been through it, you want to do something, like your heart wants to do something for these situations and these kids and put things in place so that when it happens again, automatically the therapy is happening, automatically you're being evaluated, automatically who knows if this stuff is taking place automatically. I don't think so. Like, it just should be part of the process, and the process is broken because there is none. They get a slap on the wrist, they go right back into society and do the same thing that they've been doing. And it's
That's
starting
right.
in their household. They're not going out doing it outside. It's right where it's convenient, with the nieces, with the nephews, with the sisters, the brothers, the daughters, the sons, right there.
That's right. That's right. And I know by me being molested so young, that caused me problems like physical problems in my adulthood. Like, I still have to go get checked. Like, when your body experience trauma like that at a young age, you have physical problems down there. It's it's a lot, man. It's a lot. I hope whoever going through something like that, I hope they catch this live. I hope this live reach them. Like, you not by yourself. You can call me. You can email me. They just played a commercial with my number on it. I ain't the richest person in the world. I don't have the biggest house. But if you need me, just call me. It's that don't have to be the end. Don't start your healing. Like, don't hold on to it, because that can lead you, and because they ain't protect you, that can lead you to somebody else that you think gonna protect you, and they'll expose you to more abuse, and you'll be more. It'll be trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma
Trauma after trauma after trauma.
after trauma. And love, love is what they need. They need love, genuine love. They need genuine care. They need genuine compassion. They need somebody that's gonna tell them it's okay. It's all right. You're gonna get through it. You're gonna get through this. And I want to be that voice for them, to let them know you're gonna get through this, because I've been through it.
Yeah. And then I started to feel like, okay, Sunshine, you've been talking all of that, this is your purpose and you're the voice. And when I heard what was happening right around here, I was like mad. But then I was like, where do I start? And I have people that's willing to jump on board to help. And you don't want to step on anybody's toes if they already have something in place, but it's like, and I know it's not just this community, and I'm not saying anything negative I'm trying not to, but it seems like everybody is in their own little group. You know, you had to have the little cliques over here and over here and over there. It's like if you go to any function, you already know who's over here because you see that person. Oh, okay, that's all the people that hang over there. You, it's never a just mingling and intertwined type situation, and so everybody seems separated and divided, and therefore you don't know who's doing what. So when this happened, I'm like, I got to start a whole resource thing so that I can be able to help because even I don't know where to start, you know, other than from my heart. Like I was saying, I want to get some care packages together. So when things happen like this, you just go get you a care package, you go to the person, you say, here's a little token of love to say, you know, we love you, we believe you, we support you, you are not alone. Here's my number, you know, and if anybody else to put their cards in there too, not just my number. Here's this number, because you can't. This one girl told me you can't save the world, sunshine. So if the
That's right.
baggie is there, it has your card in it, my card in it, whoever else is in here, Serenity card, Vanessa card, Miss Vinny card, and Clarissa's card, and I'm just naming the people that's in our chat. But you know, just different cards inside the baggie to say, you know, here you got choices, you got options. You can't get one, call the next one. You know, if you can't get this one that day, go to the next one. But you have a resource, a toolbox that says, hey, here's a list of resources. If you are in a dangerous situation, dial 911. Because for some people, you have to spell it out for them. They're not always aware of the things that's around them. So that is my new assignment. My new assignment is gathering together information to put within the care package that says, here's the number to the local shelter. Here's the number to the suicide hotline. Here's the number two, and here's the number two, and make it part of that care package. And that's how I know to start. And while I'm doing that, getting the numbers, then I'm gonna be calling them on the phone, saying, yes, you know, this sunshine. And they were like, who is sunshine? This sunshine. I need to know what services do you offer, you know, because and I don't want to start from ground zero because I feel like it's already out there, but we don't know.
That's right.
Marketing around here is, I'm gonna just say, it needs improving because you don't know.
That's right. Oh, Jesus. 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 I call on Jesus. When it get too hard for me, Miss Sunshine, call on Jesus. Because he the only one that's holding it together. He the only one. He the reason why I have a book to write and made it through that. Because I wanted to die. And like you said, you have to tell. Like I always tell my baby, if this happened, tell them no. And she did say no, but I forgot to teach her run and scream, run and scream, run and scream. I never thought she was going to have to go through that. I just said, just say no if somebody touch you. She said no, but I forgot to teach her run and scream. So it's never, your child never too young for you to have good touch, bad touch, run and scream talk with them. Because you never know who watching. You never know what's on whoever mind. You never know who child is exposed to what. You never know what can happen. So, you know, let your child know. Inform your child that there are predators out here that want your innocence. And they have people that really just like little kids. All these grown women out here, and they like little kids.
Period.
They
Just
sick, man. They sick, bro.
mm-hmm.
They sick. God gonna deal with them though. And I hope they watching too, cause God gonna deal with you. You touching them kids. God gonna deal with you. God gonna deal with them. God gonna deal with them. He
And
gonna
then,
deal with
you know,
you.
and then like you were saying, it's not just grown folks either, because these children have been exposed to things, and so sometimes they look like them, they're just a little bit taller than them, maybe a little bit bigger than them or whatever, but right around the same age, but because they've been exposed to it, they want to expose your child to it. So it's not always just an adult
That's
that
right.
is, trying to do the violation. It's a younger child that doesn't really know any better at that time. They just know it's happened to me, so it must be okay. Let me do the same thing to my cousin or to my
That's right.
sister, or to the neighbor's child. They just The cycle is just continues. That's what's happening. And
That's
somebody has
right.
and where does it end? I mean, I'm so thankful that we're able to have the dialogue now. We're able to talk about it now more than ever. Okay, talking about it is great. Praying about it is better. But doing something about it is the best. You
Right.
can't sit back and be like, well, I'm just going to let the Lord take care of them. Like he's like, well, what you going to do? You're right there seeing this situation. You're right there turning a deaf ear and a blind eye to the situation that is happening. You are wanting to live your best life, so you're sending your kids over here not knowing what situation you're putting them in, or
That's
you're in
right.
there talking about the neighbor and what the neighbor got going on, and you done shush the children into the room. You don't know who you done sent child up into the room with. I had
Hmm.
a lady tell me that it was her cousin, and they were right in the other room. You
It
know,
usually be.
try to tell your parents, they want to shut you down until you don't mention it, and there you are left to carry this year after year and into your adult life, and not even knowing how you're going to deal with it. And so when I get to talking about it, just like you, I just have to just take me a deep breath, take me a few breaths, and I had to come back. Like when I heard this, I really was like, what you gonna do, sunshine? I didn't come live because I didn't want to come across just flat out angry. But I have been so hurt, so angry, so pissed, just all kind of emotions. Just like when I saw you grieving the fact that your child had been exposed to what she had been exposed to. Like we continue to relive this. Like you've already been through it yourself. And so since you've been through it, you thought you was completely healed.
That's right.
But I don't know if I don't want to say it's not possible, because I do believe that it's possible, but I want to say it's a trigger. Even if you are healed and still
Yep.
healing or whatever, when you hear about it happening to somebody, and then when you can put a face to that person that you care about and love, it's a whole different ball game. Like it upsets you. You get angry. You go through emotions when it's just somebody that you know on TV, on the news, or whatever. But when it hits close to home and it's somebody that you know and you love, and you're like, it's just different. It's just different. It's just different. And it's just too close for us not to do anything about it. And nobody knows what you go through. Like, nobody knows. If you have not been through this, you don't understand the emotions that another prior victim, because we're victorious now, but at a certain time in our lives, over a period, mine more like 5 to 50, you know, it's different. It's just different when you hear about it, regardless if you know them or not. But if you do, your heart just breaks. It's like it just shatters in so many pieces because you don't know what to do. You don't
Yep.
know what to do. And there's nothing to say. Like you just need to get somewhere and just listen and say, I understand. Why? Because you do. If you've never been through it, don't come telling somebody you understand, because you don't. You
That's
really
right.
don't. You can listen. I'm here. I'm listening. But don't say I understand, because you don't.
That's
It ain't
right.
nothing like it. It's nothing like it.
That's
And you
right.
feel guilt and shame so long, and you feel labeled. Like you feel labeled. You feel like people are looking at you and they're like, "Oh, that's that girl that such and such happened to," or she was talking about she was molested, or she said it, and they say it in a manner like they don't really believe it, but she said it. It took her forever to say it. I don't know if it really happened. What took her so long? Man, when I tell you, I heard those words, I used to get just that's another thing will send me through the roof. You can't say what somebody's timeline is for telling.
Right. Right. It take a lot to tell because telling come with a lot. You got to see your loved one in jail. That's gonna turn this one against this one. It's You got to do what's best for you and your child. I don't care if you got to see your brother go sit in jail behind your child. You have to protect your children. You have to protect yourself. And if you can protect the next child, you have to they need somebody to protect them. Like us and God, us as parents, or us, whoever the guardian over somebody, we are the child protection against the world. Like we their first line of defense. God is ours, God is theirs, and then it's us physically here. We the first line of defense. If we don't protect them, who will? That's how I felt. If they ain't gonna protect me, I'm gonna protect myself. And I'm gonna sling this 4-5. Anybody run down on me, they gonna catch one. And it just leads you to that road. Like I still deal with anger. Like I had anger issues. Like I used to fight a lot. And people didn't know why. Like, why you snap out like that? Because if ain't nobody gonna protect me, I'm gonna protect me. It just turned you to a whole different beast because oh Lord, because you still trying to help that little girl. Yep, it's sad, man.
Um, Sometimes I could look in the mirror and tell the little girl, because you're right, that little girl is still in there. And sometimes she feels like just, it's almost like you revert back to your childhood, and you feel like I want somebody to rescue me. Like I'm here and I'm grown and I have two amazing children, and God has blessed me with a great family and awesome friends that care about me and love me. But sometimes when you're alone, or you could be around people and still feel alone. There's just certain times where the feeling just comes over you and you revert back and you just think about your childhood and how if things could have been different, and what would different even look like for me. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry that I didn't speak up for you, and I'm sorry that I'm not going to say that I allowed it to happen, because when you're a child or when you're a minor, because it happens in different ages and different stages. Some starts at 5, some start at 12. You just never know. But either way, you're a child. And I had to tell myself, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't protect you, but now I'm your protector, and no one is going to do that to you again. And if they try, you gon' kick and scream and say no, and be ready to take your mug shot if they try
I'm
something. But
definitely gonna be taking my mug shot.
you know, because it ain't happening no more. I
That's
mean, it's
right.
not. I'm not allowing someone to hurt that little girl ever again. Like it hurts just to sit here and talk about it, knowing that these babies have experienced this, because it's unnecessary. It's too many women out there, but like you said, some people just they're fixated on being with children and
Sick.
sick.
Sick. That's a demonic spirit because that's a mental illness in itself. Cause you, man, like you, I just have to take a deep breath and just shake my head because I could still visualize me being in a room. Somebody was there and he's sticking his finger so far up me. I started bleeding and I ran to my mama and I'm like, I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. He in the back room with his hand over his mouth saying, shh. Like, as much as I would like to forget that, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. To this day, I don't like nobody grabbing my arm a certain way. It'll trigger me. Like, ugh, don't touch me like that. Like, I have gotten better with it over time. And since I'm more vocal about it now, I usually tell a person, don't touch me like that. Like, don't touch me like this. Don't touch me like that because of this, because of that. Yeah, man. It was,
That was one part. I mean, the whole book was good, but as I was reading that particular part, I literally I could see every scene in every page, but that part did stick out to me as well whenever I would tell somebody about it, because you wrote about him shoving his finger and you ran down the hallway, but you look back, you look, and I could just see you looking back down the hallway at him, and him like, don't you say a word. And you made up some story about falling on the dresser, falling or something like that, you said. And that,
why did
like,
I believe that? That wasn't even a good lie.
I don't know, but that I still see that, and I could feel that. Like I felt that part of that book. I felt it all, but that just no, it just like running to help. Your little feet running down the hall to help, and then you get to the end of the hall, look back at the perpetrator, and him telling you, "Don't you dare say a word, man." Mm-mm.
And somebody else watch why this happened. And they didn't say nothing either. That's why I write. I'm never gonna stop writing. That's why I talk about it. I'm never gonna stop talking about it. I don't care who get mad. I don't care. I'm gonna say what I have to say about molestation. I don't care who it is. They be like, that's family. You're gonna have people look at. I don't care how they need to look at you like that because that's sick. You touching a child. I'm not gonna never stop advocating for young people, for anybody that's been molested, not just young people, anybody. I'm not gonna never stop. I'm making my mission. I'm not gonna never stop. Like when we first got on here, you say you got a headache. I said yes, but we doing this live. Ain't nothing gonna stop me from saying I got to say it. I
Mm-hmm.
got to say it because this is where healing starts. Talking about it, being vocal about it. And you're gonna have to repeat it over and over. If you go to the authorities, sometimes people don't go because they don't want to they want to get it out their mind. Let alone
Mm-hmm.
have to talk about it, tell a story over and over and over and over. But like I said, the devil can't hide in the light. The more you speak on it, the more I heal. The more I talk about it, the better I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope those young girls find a person. I hope their mothers wake up. I hope this live reach them and they know your child needs you. Your child needs you. And they wondering why kids jumping off of bridges. And they wonder why kids doing this. That will lead you there. If that situation isn't addressed properly, the devil could go and whisper, do this, do that, do this, do that. And it can also cause mental illness because you in your head all day thinking about this that's going on. And it can, man, bro. Take up for your kids, man. Stand up for your kids. Stand up for your kids. Stand up for yourself. Cause a lot of older people, the older generation, they still dealing with stuff that they uncle, grandpa, sister, cousin, daddy, brother, anybody done did to them, and they was told don't say nothing. It's time to expose that devil. It's time to release. It's time to release. You don't have to go to the grave with that. Pick a person you want to tell it to. You ain't got to scream from the mountaintop. Find somebody you could trust and tell them, this happened to me. This happened to me. You don't know who that can help.
I know. I was talking to a coach, and she was trying to get me to niche down, is what she called it. Find your niche, your niche. It was, people pronounce it differently, but basically your target audience. Who do you want to speak to? And so I had people, because you know I want to love God, love people, period. Love God, period. Love people, period. End of story. All of that other stuff that you're trying to throw in the mix to make it all complicated. I'm not trying to
That's
make it
right.
complicated. I want it to be easy. And so to me, it's really just that easy. And she wanted me to say, like, women and children, right? Okay. I ain't gonna lie. I love me some women and children, but I love people.
That's
So
right.
why do you not think that men need help? Why
Right.
don't you that men would need counseling? Because in this process, I have had at least 5 or 6 men to come and tell me, Sunshine, man, that happened to me too. It happened to me at this age, or it happened to me by my uncle, or it happened to me by my cousin, that was supposed to be babysitting me, or whatever their story is similar to what happened to us. Like, it's no different. Men or women are being molested,
That's right.
men, women being assaulted. So we want to help people,
That's right.
and you have to tell, regardless of the age. That's why so many people are, like you said, jumping off bridges, doing drugs, doing all sorts of things to try to cope. Their coping mechanisms are killing them because they're not addressing what is causing them to do the drugs, or do whatever the obsessive compulsive action is, because you just become obsessed with feeding the anxiety, feeding the depression, drinking the popping the pills, smoking the shooting, whatever. You're shooting it up, you're drinking, you're doing all sorts of things to try to numb it, to try to not think about it, to try to not deal with it. Yes, it's going to be painful. Yes, it's going to be like almost traumatizing all over again when you first start to do it. But
That's
the
right.
more you talk about it, the freer you become, because every time
Yes.
I talk about it, I'm like, okay, I'm okay with this. Why didn't I do this long time ago? This is what I'm asking myself, because I'd be like, girl, you should have been free long time ago. But hey, everything has its timing. And so if this is my time, then this is my time. If this is my season to try to share my story to help somebody, then that's what I'm walking in right now. And if people get tired of hearing it, hey, you know what? Keep it moving, keep it scrolling. That's what we do anyway. We just
That's
pop in
right.
and pop in and pop out. So whoever this is meant for, it is going to reach them.
That's right. That's right.
but pay attention. I mean,
That's
so
right.
many things could be prevented if we just pay closer attention.
That's right.
We're letting TV, social media, video games, that's all raising the kids anyway. Like, you know, in a lot of households, we're not going to say it across the board because everyone, they're not with that. Some families don't even allow a TV in the house, and good for them because you almost don't even need one in the house. But, you know, you just being exposed to so much. I look at it now. I don't really watch TV, but sometimes something will come across and I'll be like, man, I didn't see this when I was growing up on the TV screen. They barely showed anything. Now they show everything on just a commercial. So it's being normalized, like just sexual, things is just being normalized just by a commercial. So even a child would be like, oh, she don't hardly have no clothes on. That's
That's
okay.
right.
He's touching her. Okay, that's okay. Whereas before, children was protected from that. You got a certain age, then you got a chance to watch a certain channel. Now, man, it's on the cartoons. It's all on the cartoons.
That's right. That's right. The lady
Oh,
says single
this
mothers need to be extremely
need to be
careful with
careful.
these boyfriends, child
Try to
predators
target.
target them.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yep.
That
They
is
be having to
definitely
go,
true.
child, not you.
That's right. And
They be
that's
they be wanting you to get to the child.
that's sick, man. That's sick, Miss Sunshine. That's sick. That's sick. That's sick. But it's light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train.
Ooh,
And it's not a train.
it sound like a train.
I know, but it's not. And it's not a train. Like that don't have to be the end for you. Being molested is not the end for you. You still are worthy. You still matter. You still have support. It might not be the support you want or from the people you want, but you still have people out here supporting you. Somebody is in your corner. You have people willing to protect you. You have help. You don't have to hold it in. You have safe spaces you can go and talk to people. Like you're not alone. Like I'm speaking as a victor because I'm no longer a victim and it's no longer gonna happen to me. And as long as I live, I'm gonna try to protect my kids to the best of my abilities and be watchful and educate them on the subject. But this is not the end. Don't let this eat at you. Don't let the devil use this as a way in to open more doors so you can start doing other stuff and experiencing more trauma. And then I'll give you a free copy of my book to anyone that need a free copy. Cause I started my book off with molestation. That led me down some dark paths. It started with the molestation. It started there. That was the door opener. And by it's not being handled properly or I didn't get the proper help, it just led to other things.
It
So
does. And people don't understand that and they label you. And the labeling comes from people who you don't even think would label you as, oh, she this or oh, she's that. And we shouldn't do that to people because we don't know their story until it comes up and out. You don't know what a person is going through. You don't know the struggles. Just because they have a smile on their face, just because they make their walk look easy, does not mean that it's been easy. And so, we, like you said earlier, we need to just be kind. And that's one thing that this world and society, they're having a really hard time doing is being kind and being nice and thinking about what did the other person possibly go through that cut me off today or that snipped or snapped at me yesterday, instead of
that's
just
right.
saying, what's going on. We like, oh, you want to do this? You ready? You come on out here. You ready to fight over something that person could really be hurting and need to solve.
Yep. And that can be the push over the edge they was looking for.
Push over the edge. But you could also be the smile that pulls them back off the ledge,
That's
just by
right.
being nice, just by being kind, just by giving them a listening ear, because people don't always need you to talk. They need
That's
you
right.
to listen. They just need to get it out, because that stuff eats you from the inside out. And if you haven't been through it, then you don't know. And
That's right.
sometimes the predator doesn't even get all the way. Like, I told my mom about a situation just now. It's been probably within 2 month, a 2 month period, that she didn't even know about. Did he get all the way? No, he didn't. But is it in my mind? Yes, it is, because he had me hemmed up in the corner. He had me hemmed up in the corner, and people coming in the back door is what saved me. Like, it, we had to move quickly, like, and then you had to
Mhm.
act like nothing had just happened, because how do you respond? We teach our children what to do if they get pulled over by the police, but what about what happens if a family member hem you up in the corner? What do you do if you get hemmed up in the corner? You
That's
can't worry
right.
about if they mama, sister, brother, because it's not just men.
Yep.
Women will do it too.
Yep.
What David is saying in the chat. You also have women predators too, and that is a true statement.
You do. You do because I had a woman predator too, and I didn't even put her in the book.
Me too.
Like the devil don't care who he use, he'll use anybody.
He
And
will.
and this is the thing. Most of the predators are victims.
That's
They
true.
are victims. They were exposed to it in a negative way. Nothing was done for them, so they felt like it was okay for them to do it because it was done to them.
Hmm.
So it got to be stopped. I know when God asked me, Maya, what did you do to help? God, I did all I could do. I talked about it. I reached out. I did. He gonna know you. Well done. I
Hmm.
can't save everybody, but I'm sure gonna try. I'm gonna
And
try.
it. When we were in that dark place, I mean, I'm just gonna put it out here for the people that are possibly in a dark place right now. When we were in that dark place, there's no way I would have thought I would be sitting here live with Myiah Scott, an author, a life coach, a motivational speaker, speaking on this topic, being an advocate. We're both trying to be the voice for the victim. You couldn't have made, I didn't know how I was going to make it to the next 5 minutes, much less years down the road saying, I'm the voice. I'm so fed up with it that I have to speak up. I wasn't brave enough to come forth with the hashtag Me Too. They was hashtag Me Too in a way, not knowing that they had me with PTSD, because I'm over here calling the EPA saying I need to talk, because these people keep talking about sexual assault and molestation, and it's just got me just all worked up, not knowing how
Mhm.
to deal with that energy. So you go from being depressed to being anxious and not knowing from one extreme to the other how to even deal with it. And so that's what we're here for, to say you have to talk about it. You have to seek help. It's a shame that the victims have to go through all of this, but in order to really reach your full potential, you have to get out of the closet. You have to knock all of them skeletons out. You got to fight for your life. And anything worth having is worth fighting for.
That's
And
right.
life, your life is worth fighting for. And we're here to say, listen, you get knocked down, you get back up. You get turned down, you keep it moving. You know, everybody is not going to give you a yes and amen. Everybody not in your corner saying yes and amen. But I guarantee you, you will find some supporters. You are not alone. And if you don't get anything else from this message tonight, the message is again, you are not alone, that you are worthy,
That's
that
right.
this did not just happen to you, but you have other people out here that we have survived. We didn't get here just wake up and hey, all of a sudden we wrote a book and or writing a book and on your third book and going to speak at give things out at the homeless shelter and speaking over here. That just didn't happen overnight. I'm starting to
Yeah.
stutter now. It didn't happen overnight. It was a process. And it was a process of going through the pain, shedding the tears, losing nights of sleep, feeling betrayed, feeling rejected. It was so many feelings to get to this point, so many emotions to get to this point. But
Yeah.
we made it. We made it. Because what did Dorothy say? She said, you guys are more than overcomers. We overcame the obstacles that came and still overcoming, because it doesn't mean just because you speak out, you all of a sudden don't have any other obstacles. You heard Myiah say within the last month, she had to deal with this all over again with her baby. So you're not like excluded from anything else ever happening whenever you start speaking up. Just know that's the beginning of your healing. It is your overcoming. You will walk in victory once you start letting it out and talking about it. I'm telling y'all, it is freedom in that.
That's right.
But I've
Yeah.
been so mad. I just been so angry. Oh my God. I cannot believe how mad I have been, upset I have been. I don't even know what words to use that I have been. Anybody that's been around me know exactly what I'm talking about, because that's just been my whole thing, just like to tears. And then when somebody sent me the pictures of the babies, then it brought me back to your baby, and it brought me back to you, and it brought me back to the other people that have came and told me about how these things have negatively affected them in their adult life. We're not talking about just children. We're talking about people who are still battling it. That's why it's so important that whatever help we can get as soon as it happens, it's
Yeah.
better for the child. It's better for the child and
Yeah.
even the people that's around them. Because when you hurt somebody, it's not just them, it's the people that they're connected to. Girl, everybody at your house that night was crying. We was all in tears because we were all hurt and we were hurting.
Yeah.
Because why? It wasn't addressed. It wasn't addressed when it happened the first time from that particular predator. Why is he still walking around affecting the same family?
That's right.
Why?
Because
Why?
he has been made, he feel comfortable. Nothing was done. It's time to take the comfort. It's time to make predators uncomfortable. When you get around me and you're a predator and you around some child, I'm gonna make you feel uncomfortable. What you doing looking at that baby butt? Don't be touching that baby like that. What you doing? I don't care where we at. I'm gonna be all at the family barbecue. Yeah, you know what you did. He don't want to come around no more. That's how you got to expose them. You got to put them on a spot in front of everybody. Because what you did in secret is hurting me. It's hurting me. It's hurting me in public. It's hurting me. I'm hurting in public. People watching me on drugs in public. People watching me be angry in public. The people I dealt with watch me suffer for what you did in private. So it's time to expose them. It's time for them to be exposed. I'm dealing with a situation right now with somebody that's very close to me. And if she want to press charges, we're going to press charges this week. Because that's no statute of limitation on rape. Let me let you, I don't care if it happened 5 years ago. I don't care if it happened 20 years ago. You can still go and report it. It's not too late. If you want to take it to the authorities, you can do that. You can do that. And I'm just waiting on her. Let's go. And we going to do what we got to do. Thank God God changed my life because I get so angry like you. I be want to put my hands on people. And that's not right. That's not right, Lord. I go I talk to a therapist like I need to figure out, Lord, take this anger from me because that make me legit angry. I
Yeah.
be ready to call you and be like, Miss Sunshine, my bank card in my purse. Come and get me out of jail because I'm finna go. Thank God for deliverance, but I'm not gonna let nobody push me because we don't fight against flesh and blood. It's a spirit. It's spirits in them, and it's been passed down from generation to generation and generation, and they keep doing it because they're comfortable.
They keep doing it because nothing is happening. They're
It's time
made.
to make them uncomfortable.
It's time for somebody to make an example. It's only going to take one or two. Take them out. It ain't no. I mean, what? Where's a card at? I'm just trying to find a card somewhere.
Yes, stay tuned, cause all I'm waiting on is her word, and we gonna make an example out of one of them before this week out. All I'm waiting on is her word.
What's the purpose of putting a little mark on their driver's license? I heard the lady was telling us last night at the gas station, Louisiana put it on the front right here that you are a sex offender. Mississippi got it on the back of the car, real small. You can't even tell that they got something. So even some states are lax with it, and then some states like, oh, we finna let everybody know. But then what does that do? Because that hadn't stopped them just because you marking it and making them register and all that kind of stuff. It's still on the rise. You still
That's
got children
right.
being targeted and harassed and molested and abused and raped and all kinds of things. Because what does that do? That's nothing that you
That's
put it on
right.
their license. They don't care.
I remember this one incident. They had this old man. His name Mr. Dennis. I'm saying his name. His name was Mr. Dennis. Mr. Dennis had to be like in his 60s. I was about 14 years old, and he was trying to offer me money, like, come down here, I got some money for you. I got some money for you. I told my stepdaddy about it, and he went down there to talk to the man. And the man made him, he was like, no, I wasn't offering her money for her to come down here like that. I wanted her to do something. And he believed him. I'm like, this man is lying. And then they called me the disruptive child because now I'm in the street like, you lying. You did. You told me to. Every time I said something, it was shut down. So it turned me to a whole different monster. Thank God for change, for making me new. And, thank God. That's all I can say. Because I was the one that'd be like, yeah, let's take it to the street. That was me. Before I let God come in and change me, that was me. And we could take it wherever you want to take it to because I just wasn't protected. I didn't feel protected. So I did what I thought was protecting me. It was hurting me. At the same time, I thought it was hurting me, but that's what I thought was right at the time. You never knew how you gonna react. You never know what road you gonna take. You never know what door molestation gonna open. It's time to start exposing these people, like Mr. Dennis. I won't say the other people name. I want to, but I'm not. And I hope Marcus is watching. Whatever you did to her, you just stay tuned, buddy. Your time, just keep watching. It's finna be some examples made out of people. You want to touch on little kids, but then you want to get in jail and cry. I got people back there. Them molesters get back there and cry and be scared, but you'll do that to a child. It's pitiful. It's a pitiful situation. It's a pitiful situation.
It
It's
is.
time to it's time to start exposing people.
The goal for me, my goal was not to, but it's almost like it's not going to change. Like the man that I was telling my mom, he's already passed away. And so that's why it's important for us, even though to tell our truth now, most of the ones that abuse, I don't know about you because you're younger than me, but mine, they probably couldn't get it up with whatever, but it doesn't stop them from abusing. Like you said, the guy that abused you, he knew that he was too big because you're a child. So he used
He
his
tried. The
he tried,
first he
yeah,
tried the first time. That's why the second time he used his finger, because the first time he knew it wasn't working.
it wasn't working. So you
And
can't
that's
even say that
pitiful.
oh, and it don't work because they'll use whatever. They'll use things. I mean, just perversion is just that. But your goal is not to hurt other people. Your goal is not to just be putting the names out there for. But how do you stop it if you don't?
It is what it is at this point. They shouldn't be molesters then. They don't
They
want
should.
their name spoken. They shouldn't be molesters. They shouldn't be touching on kids.
Nope.
So not
And
a
I don't
whole
even
world
want to
knows.
hear, like, I don't even want to hear, because to me, it's not justification that, well, they were molested themselves. I mean, we do know that a lot of molesters and perpetrators have been victims of something. But at the same time, if it hurt you, why would you want to do that to somebody else? Why? Like, help me out. Make it make sense to me. Cause it don't cross my mind to go out and hurt somebody's child. It turned me into an angry person, but it
That's
didn't
right.
turn me into a person that wanted to do certain things that were not natural to other people,
That's right.
specifically children. No. If anything, the complete opposite. If anything, to try to protect, if anything, to try to you know, watch and see if someone's trying to groom the child, watch and see if they got the child sitting up on their lap some type of way, you know, watch
And
and
then
see. Why you,
they apologize. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
mm-mm,
That's not enough.
that's not enough.
That's
Oh
not
God.
enough.
And then, you hear people who say like their grandfather did it to them. And this one girl, she was watching my video. She was here. She was watching the video, and I could see that it was making her uncomfortable because our conversation was about being molested. But I said, well, maybe it's just uncomfortable because everybody don't really like talking about it or don't want to hear about it. And, that's the problem. You part of the problem. But that wasn't what it was with her. She told me a little bit later that she felt some type of way because she had been handing her kid over to her
Hmm.
grandfather, who she found out later had been molesting her child.
Hmm.
So, it's just like it just does so much damage. It does. Not to just the child, but to the parent of the child and to the grandparents of the child. It just it's like a cancer.
And it's gonna keep spreading unless we chemo it. Burn it up.
Radiation.
That's right. It needs to
Girl, I'm
be
glad.
burnt up and exposed. The first thing you do, you go get tested for cancer, and you have this. You need to let somebody know. Jesus. I did not come on here to talk about Mr. Dennis and Buckets. And I ain't trying to laugh. But
Girl,
they
look,
done
if you
made me
want
mad. They done made me mad, Miss Sunshine. They done made me mad.
to know, girl, me too. I've been over here just smoking hot. Cause I'm telling you, when it comes to you a certain way, and people just be trying to be messy and spread stuff, and you know, you I and then you trying to put it on the victim. You really made my head start spinning around on my neck. Like, wait, what? Are you kidding me? Like, we ain't finna have this conversation. I'm finna tell you this right here, and then I'm finna get off this phone because you and other people like you and this way of thinking is the reason that victims of abuse do not come forward. So I don't even want to hear. I don't want to hear this. And the thing about it is, when you're a child and you have been a victim of abuse, it's almost like it's a cycle because you go from one abusive situation to another abusive situation. It's like you're attracted or drawn to other abusers.
That's right.
And when do you get out of it? Like, you have to literally break through and break free. So you have to fight for your life
That's
daily.
right. That's right.
Man, I don't even know. I don't even know. It's been bad. It's been bad, baby, over here.
We do know. We exposing people. We gonna wait till they get at the picnic, got a plate in their hand, and be like, "You remember what you did to me when I was 5? What you talking about? You don't remember you touched me?" And to that uncle, "Oh, you getting fine. Look at you. You getting we exposing them. That's no longer okay.
Well, I didn't say I'm about to get to the picnic and be cutting up.
I'm going to the picnic. I'm gonna be at the picnic because they have to be made an example of.
Wow.
They already know what they did. They already know you suffering in silence. They know
But
that.
let me tell you this, though. What happens when you go to them and they say, I, I don't even remember?
Don't ask me that, please.
I'm serious. That's a serious question. What happens when you go to your abuser and you confront them and they say, well, I really don't even remember. And
I'll
here
tell
you've
them, let me make you.
uh, and you've been struggling with this for years, and you don't even remember. Like, I, I don't even know.
I'll tell them, let me make you remember. And I'll recall every incident from detail to detail. Because it don't matter how much you try to forget, you can't. It's tattooed in your brain
It's
forever.
there. It's there. It's definitely there somewhere, but it don't be at the forefront of their mind like it be the ones that they did it to. And I think even after even after the I'm sorry for them. See, you made me laugh. You made me laugh a minute ago when I felt like crying.
Don't
But for
cry. It's all right. It's okay.
for
We
them
here.
not to remember, something that has tormented you for so long. And when you finally get a chance to tell them about it, sorry, don't fix it. But to
They
say you
don't.
don't remember, like,
Just know who do remember. God remember. And it may look like they got off scotch free, but they got the answer to God.
Scotch, Scotch, Scotch Oh oh, girl, thank you so much. Oh, Jesus.
And see, I'm trying to comfort you. Oh Lord, but for real though, they got the answer to God. I'm serious. Who? One thing about it, they couldn't take our joy.
Oh, they did for a
Not
long
no
time.
more.
Oh no,
We
not no
take that
more.
back. We taking that back.
Oh, I took it back. I
Cause
mean, I
the
had no
joy of the
idea,
Lord is your strength. That's your strength.
and that's why I mean, I muster up a smile no matter what. And so when I did come forth, I say coming out, and I have to be careful because people are like, "Wait, what?" It be like whenever you
They
was
gonna
talking
think you was
earlier.
trying to transition. I told you. They thought I was trying to transition.
um, but whenever I came, forth about it, it was like, I don't forgot my train of thought now. What I was saying, Maya. Whew.
We said no crying.
I know we did.
And then
Girl,
we say, whoever cry gotta tell a joke. Now you owe us a joke before this live is over.
no, you said the other person needed to tell a joke to make us laugh, and you made me laugh because you said Scott free.
What's the saying? How to say it? Cause I've been saying it like that my whole life.
I thought it was like Scott free, like Scott.
That's
Like
probably what it is.
but you said Scotch, like the drink. Mhm.
Boy, who they gotta answer to God though. Don't feel bad. Don't cry. We not giving them no more tears. Only thing we got is tears of joy. We got to stand strong for these babies and let them know that they have a voice, that they are worthy. I dealt with not feeling worthy. I still have days like, Lord, ain't nobody gonna want me. I have too much trauma. I got too much that come with me. Da, 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 da. That's not true. That's not true. You are still worthy. This is not the end for you. It's not the end. Let your
Whew.
story become your testimony to help others.
But the thing you got to remember, prepare yourself. Like prepare yourself for this journey because it's not easy. Some days, like she said, you don't feel worthy. Some days you be questioning yourself, and just know it really is a journey. It's not like, oh, you said they're having a good time, they're on here laughing. No, we're trying to push through. Because I think that's what I was getting ready to say, because you were saying that it didn't steal our joy, and I was like, up to coming forth about it, I have been wiped of my laughter and my joy, but I would put a smile on my face. And a lot of people, this is what I was going to say, a lot of people didn't even know. Maybe some did, but didn't say anything. Like you said, your abuser watched. Well, I had an adult to help the abuser, and didn't bother to save me or help me. What they did, they helped me with the abuser. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so to me, in my mind, y'all both abusers. And
Jesus.
it's just like, mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm not going to let it control me anymore. But I did realize and recognize that finding out about these babies, and I'm gonna say, like, this is my disclaimer, I'm not we're not calling any names because I don't even know who these people are. I just know something has happened to three babies recently that didn't have to happen. And and it breaks my heart. Like, and we want to do something. We're the advocates now, and we have to do something. We don't know exactly what, but this is a start. Speaking up, speaking out, reaching out is a start. And we can't save the world, but one child at a time,
That's right.
one adult at a time that can be set free, because we are the church. And people think, well, she ain't who she. I don't. When the last time we seen her in church? It don't matter because you are the church.
That's right.
And so many times we pass by the brokenhearted on our way to a church building. We pass by the homeless on our way to a church building and miss a lot of opportunities to be the church versus going to the building that's
That's
called the
right.
church. And so, um, I admire you for going to feed the homeless last week and already got it on your calendar with the upcoming month to go feed the homeless. And Sunshine, I hope that she's at a position where she can go and get some items and make some baggies. Mine will be maybe for the kids, the women at the women's shelter, something of that nature. So, we all have our own paths to follow, and
That's
um and things to do. So don't ever feel like, well, they doing it, and I was gonna do it, but they're doing it. Do it anyway. Do you know how many people it
right.
is that need to be fed? Do you know how many people it is? And you can't tell them something until you meet the need. So you
That's
couldn't have went
right.
out there and say, you need to do this and you need to do that, but you feed them first because they're hungry, and then
Mm-hmm.
you're able to share a word, encouraging word to them to
That's
to
right.
let them know, hey, you just hold on, your change is gonna come. So I don't know, girl. I'm gonna just stop talking because
And it was a blessing because they still have their joy. They under the bridge sleeping in tents, but they still have a smile on their face. And they was encouraging me. God really gonna bless you. You with an organization. What you doing? I was like, no, I'm just out here feeding y'all. I was like, this not a photo. Where your phone at? This not a photo op. I'm not taking no picture of y'all. I'm out here for you to feed you. This make me happy, seeing you happy. And I got to minister to them like I was homeless too. I ain't never sleep under the bridge, but I had to sleep in my car. I
mm-hmm.
was sleeping in my car. I ain't have nowhere to go. I've been homeless before. I know how it is. Like this not the end. The same thing I told them. No matter where you find yourself in life, that do not have to be the end. You have to make a decision to say, this not the end for me. It may look like it, but it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. And God don't waste nothing. So we don't go through everything we go through for nothing because nothing is wasted. Like I didn't think my book was gonna help somebody. I just did it because that's what God told me to do, and I just put it out there. I didn't think it was gonna help. I didn't think I knew my family was gonna buy it to support me. I didn't think it was gonna help and impact the way that it is, and I'm glad that it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad
And
that
you
it's
say
truly
your book
helping.
like it's one book, but it's books. Your books are helping people.
Yeah, my
You,
books are helping.
yes, your books are helping. You just got to push those other books.
I know. 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 I know.
Yeah,
I will.
that's right. But this has been a blessing to me. I mean, it gave me an opportunity where I didn't have to get on here by myself and just be like, what we doing? Y'all need to make it make sense to me. What are we doing? Why are we doing it like this? Why are we still like giving our children over to people? Men, women, don't matter. Pushing them in the room with the predator, telling them to go play. I never forget that lady told me her mama did her that. Told her to go play with him after she knew. I'm like, dude, what? Just because she didn't want to lose that relationship with that particular family member, you tell your child to go play with the person that they built up the courage to tell you. that the child had been molesting them. It does something to me, and for the rest of my days, I'm gonna say for as long as it's my assignment, because my assignment might change, but I do believe for the rest of my days I will be speaking up, you
That's
know,
right.
on this manner, on this matter. I believe that um I may not be doing it in this, type of platform, but however my assignment is given to me, I do believe that it's going to incorporate victims of abuse, no matter what type of abuse, physical, sexual, emotional, whatever, because I've had it all. I've been through it all. And I'm alive for the purpose of telling the story. Whether
That's,
you want to hear it or not is not my problem. That's not my business. My
that's right.
business is to tell the story, and
That's
whoever
right.
ears fall on and whoever is meant to hear it will hear it, and it'll do exactly what it is designed to do.
That's right.
And I could be dead and gone, and my words will still help somebody, because my prayer partner told me that. And this this girl, she texted me the other day, and she said, I knew I needed to call you. She was going through something. She said, I knew if I could just get you on the phone, she said, and hear your voice and your words of encouragement. And when she says that, anytime somebody tell me about my voice, it just reminds me of what my prayer partner told me, who was a double amputee, dead and gone today. But she told me, your voice is going to help some people. You're going to use your voice to help a lot of women. And I was like, okay. She gave me that assignment before she passed away. I got it written down somewhere, girl. I need to go find it to make sure I got it right. But like, is that what she
And
said?
you doing it. You making her proud. She'll
Thank
be proud.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're making us proud, sunshine. You're making us proud, baby.
Yes, Miss Sunshine. Whew. Well, do you have to work tomorrow?
Yeah,
That's all right, girl. We did what we were supposed to do. We gonna bounce right on up in the morning like
we
we went to
sure
bed.
is. This what we do.
This is what we do. Look, we are booked and in the budget, baby.
You in the budget, baby.
Booked and in the budget, baby.
You're in the budget. And one day this is gonna be our main job. We ain't gonna have to go to nobody 9 to 5.
Um, look, I was reading somebody thing that said I left my 9 to 5 to start my own business, which 24/7.
That's
So,
right.
girl, I'm trying to go to like 3 days a week. I'm trying to be like 3 days a week. I want to be on retirement mode. I work with this one lady. She's straight in retirement mode. You ask her something, what? She be like, what? I be like, oh God, she's so not interested.
I don't blame
Stop it.
her. I don't blame her. I don't blame her. I
Well,
do not blame her.
this was good. I hope that
It
I
was.
know that it's gonna bless somebody. It's gonna help somebody. People are going to share this with other people that they feel like can benefit from it, just to be aware. That's all we asking you, is just to be more aware. We have to do things, and we have to do things differently if we want different results. So if you don't want the same things to happen to your children that happen to you, that means that you have to move differently. You have to operate differently.
That's right.
You got to sacrifice a little bit more. Well, you wanted to go out with so and so, you can't leave your children over by the neighbor's house that you barely know. You just can't do things like that. And we just got to be mindful, man. Pay attention to the children when they get to acting different.
That's
Immediately
right.
pay attention and do something about it. Don't tell your kid you lying. You lying on him. He ain't do that to you. Do you know
Don't
what?
tell your kid you must have liked it if you don't want to do this or you ain't say this.
Girl, that one right there, that is what took me pew,
I
over the
know a
edge.
mother that told her daughter that. that she must have liked it. A mother. Now imagine how scarring that is for a child to hear a mother tell him that. It's
It's scarring, it's traumatizing, it makes the child question, why did I even say anything? I'm not gonna say anything anymore. Just shut down. Completely shut down. And
that's
then you
right.
looking at the kid like, well, what's wrong with you? What you think wrong with me? Well, you ain't gotta be so nasty. Well, why do you think I'm nasty? You basically telling me you don't trust me. You telling me I'm lying. All in defense of who? Who is he to you? Who is she to you? Mm-mm.
That's right.
It's so wrong, but it happens every day. And I really do hate that you're experiencing this, but you know what? This is your assignment. And I know you understand that assignment.
Yeah, we gonna get through it. We gonna get through it. God is He helping me. I'm not sitting in nobody jail. I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with it. We dealing with it. And we healing through it. It's not gonna cause this trauma. It's not gonna cause another trauma. It
Mm-hmm.
ends here. Okay, this happened. Okay, how you wanna move forward? Somebody don't care. Your mama ain't believe you, but I'm right here. I believe you. Come on, I'ma love you. We're gonna love the hurt out you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
And you're giving what you didn't receive,
that's
pretty much.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. We were
Oh,
born for this. This was our assignment. We were born to help.
we definitely were born for something.
To help. We help it.
Woo, Lord. Woo,
Born to help
child.
these people. Gotta
Yes,
help
we
the people.
And the people have to want the help. They have to be open to receive it and be willing to do something about it. You can't be selfish any longer whenever you have children.
That's right.
It's not just about you, and it's not just about whatever. And we all make mistakes. None of us are perfect, but you don't want to have all this mommy guilt at the end of the day, feeling like you should have, could have, would have, all of that stuff. It doesn't even it holds no weight at this point. You have to figure out what you have to do and what it looks like for you. It may look different for somebody else. Therapy might just help you. Somebody else might need therapy plus medication. Somebody else might need you to pack them up and move them away. Otherwise, they got to see that person at the picnic. They got to see that person at the family reunion. They got to see that person at the house. And so, you might have to pack up and sacrifice and move your child to a different location. But whatever you have to do, guess what? That's your assignment. And that's what you need to be finding yourself doing quickly.
That's right. Cause we pulling up the picnics. We pulling up to the picnics.
Oh gosh.
We pulling
I
up
hope
the family reunions. All 2022. We
look,
pulling up.
I hope Mr. Dennis ain't at the picnic.
I hope Mr. Dennis ain't at the picnic either.
Oh Lord. Mr. Dennis is gonna be like, that's not what I said to her. You gonna be like, you said it.
Stop lying, Mr. Dennis. The Lord is watching you.
You done called a man name, everything.
He did it. He did it. He did it. I'm not lying on him. Mr. Dennis did it. And Marcus did what he did. Because iPhone had that new feature where you can delete messages. He tried to go delete his messages. No, buddy, we got the messages screenshotted.
Mm-hmm.
So
I didn't know iPhone had that feature.
Yep, it's with the new update.
So if they delete it from their phone, it deletes
It'll
from yours.
delete from yours. Yep. They can
Oh,
unsend messages.
and that's on the iMessage, or is that on the Messenger?
That's on iMessages. That's on the messages. It's with the new update.
Dang, I haven't seen that.
Yep. I seen what he deleted it. Well, he apologized first when he said he's sorry. Then he deleted it. He unsent it, but we had already had it screenshotted and said no, I didn't, because he knew he just had admitted to what he did.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So y'all pray for me. Like I'm on this live telling y'all I'm going through a situation right now. Like I'm going through it. I'm not gonna sit here and wallow in it. I'm gonna go through it and get out of it
Yeah,
and heal through it. But
we will. We're gonna pray. And
yes,
but in the midst of praying, like you said, you're gonna keep on going through. So the next time we come live, we're gonna be talking about the new book signed. We're gonna be promoting the new book signed. We're gonna talk about when you're gonna start writing the next book because it's already in the making.
how I pulled up to them picnics. I'm telling you, we
Is
pulling
that
up the picnics. You think I'm playing?
that's gonna be the name of the book? We pulled up to the picnic.
That might be in the book. How I pulled up to the picnic.
That's the chapter. How I pulled up to the picnic.
It's
Girl, you
gonna be
fun.
called from predator to prey, because that's what they. Lord have mercy. I'm glad I could laugh with you though, but it's a serious situation. I have to laugh to keep from crying.
We got to laugh to keep from crying because I already knew I was mad before I got on here. But because I let some days pass before I went live, like I just didn't come out just, like I would have. Because in private, I've been able, we've been able to talk about it and kind of just be like, I can't believe this and da 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 da. And it
Hmm.
brings up all those feelings and emotions. And so now, whew, even though I got a little emotional, a couple times I got choked up because I'm just so passionate about it, and it's like somebody's got to do something. We can't keep being a functional victim,
Right.
because we just get up and go through the motions each day, go through the motions, and our relationships are failing, our marriages are failing, and we don't know what's going on. It's because you haven't dealt with it.
That's right.
So we here to help you deal with it, to provide the resources to help you deal with it. That way you can be a healthy, happy, prosperous adult, not a struggling, functioning, victimized individual.
That's right.
Whew. Well, girl, I know we gotta go. This was good. We could
We
pick it
got
up.
through it.
We got through it, and we can pick it up another day because there's so much that could be said, and you have to repeat things in order for people to really receive it. You
I
really do.
know. Whenever
And,
you ready.
and you have to allow people to repeat it in order for them to heal. You have to repeat things in order for other people to get it, and then they have to repeat it in order for them to release it. And it's all about just letting it go, releasing it. Somebody called me the other day and said, well, how? Y'all keep talking about let it go. Tell me how. I need to know how. How do I do it? She said, because I still hold on. I've been able to let a few things go, but for the most part, I still got all this stuff that bothers me that I haven't let go. And people say, let it go. You just got to let it, but I need to know how.
It's different from for each person. I had to pray. And most of my healing came through therapy. I talked to somebody. I talked to a therapist, and I wrote it and I write. And I speak about it. That was my way of letting it go, getting it out of my system. Some days it may come up. It's not gonna never be fully gone. Like it's learning new ways to deal with it, not letting the hurt harm
Control.
you.
Mm-hmm.
So to start off with prayer, like God, I can't handle this. And after you pray, you go find you a therapist and you find you some self care and how to heal, and you do what you need to do.
It's different for
It
everybody.
varies from person to person.
Mhm. You just have
I
to try.
wrote my way through. I wrote it. I talked to therapists. I cried. I laughed. I was mad, but I got through it. My hurt no longer bothers it. It bothers me from time to time, but I don't let it eat at me. I know how to deal with it. I know how to
Mm-hmm.
say, we're gonna use this hurt like what we doing tonight. We turning our hurt to help. So so to that person that asked that question, it varies from person to person. Pray and go find you a therapist. Talk to somebody. Talk to a professional. Find out what help you release. Write about it. Talk about it. Sing about it. Do whatever you gotta do. You can't let it stay in there. It's gonna bubble over into your other relation. It's gonna bubble over. Whatever is inside you holding, it's gonna eventually bubble over into other stuff. It's gonna start seeping through. You ain't gonna be able to hide it no more.
Nope.
So figure out your way to let it go.
Mm-hmm. Healthy way too.
Yes.
Yeah, to release it.
Yep.
Yeah. Whew, yes. Well, I hope that the person that had that question and other questions really tune into this. And like I said, I believe that it's been helpful to me because I'm tired of going on a roller coaster ride this weekend. I don't feel like a roller coaster ride, but I've been on one. And so this was helpful. We laughed, I cried, you maintained.
I wanted to. I had to just keep myself together because hmm,
I'm a big baby. So me holding back when they come, it don't take much. I was able to maintain for a little while, but when I got to thinking about all these years and you gonna say you don't remember, girl, what?
I would have cracked them in the head.
You don't remember.
Well, what about now? For real. Like, what about now? I've been doing
Mhm.
do you remember now? I would have kept hitting them till they say, I remember. I remember now. Oh,
Girl,
okay.
girl, you so violent. That night war, no, it be showing up.
I'm for real. That be my initial reaction because I know how I feel to be in that position. Like, and God, He works with me with that because you don't. I know how I feel to be helpless and want to scream for help and nobody come. And for them to say they don't remember something that scarred you and that you carried into your marriage, you carried into motherhood, you carried it to your job, you've been carrying it so long and you don't remember. Well, I'm finna make you remember. Shoot.
Girl, you a mess. But
My
that
therapist told me it's okay to talk about it long as I don't act on it. So it's righteous anger, she said. It's righteous anger.
yeah, okay, let me help you with that. It's okay to talk about it with her. Don't be up there on live. But I'm
I got
no, don't
maybe this is helping somebody. Like Cause it's hard. I love the Lord, but you still gonna have some struggles. That don't mean a life not blemished. And I'm not finna sit around here and fake like I got it all together. I be mad. I be want to fight people. I do. And that's what the Holy Spirit got to take over and say, Myiah, don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it, Myiah. Don't do it. Don't do it. That lets you know the Lord is really working in my life. Especially with the situations I've been dealing with. You know, it's been going down over here. I've
Yeah.
been holding it together. God been keeping me. He been sustaining me. I ain't sitting in jail. Me and my righteous anger just been over here. What you say, Miss Sunshine? Miss Sunshine say that's okay to talk about with your therapist. Don't be saying.
Oh
I am not gonna fake. I can't be fake. I'm gonna keep it real, and I just hope it helps somebody. Cause I'm gonna keep it real. Like you get mad, you get mad. Jesus got mad too. He flipped a few tables. He probably ain't cracked nobody in the head, but he flipped a couple of tables. He said it's okay to be angry, but sin not. I did not sin. So I would have sinned if somebody would have told me they didn't remember. And that's why Jesus died.
God. Oh Lord, girl.
Woo.
Thank you. This is some therapy for me. Laughter is good for the soul. And I
Yes,
really have been
it is.
praying because I wanted to get my laughter back because I remember as a little kid before, the innocence was taken away that I used to just laugh. And I guess it's evident now because I still smile all the time, but that laughter, like that gut belly laugh, I get that with a few people that I just can crack up laughing. And so I really do appreciate, I appreciate it because it's needed. Laughter is good for the soul. And to get through this stuff, you do have to laugh. And so I'm so glad that we're able to laugh even in the midst of a serious topic, and we don't take it lightly, and it's not funny, but there are things in it that we do have to just laugh to keep from crying, to keep from clucking somebody over their head instead of
That's
you
right.
so whoo Lord, whoo child, that's all I can say. Whoo child. All
Oh
right.
Lord.
Well, thank y'all so much for hanging in there with us. We just wanted to. Myiah has been back to back to back appointments and situations tonight and opportunities, speaking opportunities, but she did not turn down conversations with Celena, and so I'm so very happy about that. And you're also looking at a sponsor of Conversations with Celena, so I'm even more excited about that. And I can't wait to give her episode. And also, Valente Real Estate is another sponsor for this month. And I have a couple people waiting in queue. So I'm like, woo, child. I'm really excited about that.
Blessings on
When you want
blessing, baby.
yes, when you want to throw in the towel, you just hang in there because that blessing could literally be that next phone call, that next knock on the door. So don't give up. The only way you fail is if you quit. But if you continue to try, you're already successful. And with the consistency and the diligence and just showing up and giving it your all, we promise you that it's going to work out because it's not over until it's over. And it's not over until the end.
That's
So
right.
keep going, keep trying, keep pushing. People will come. If they see that you're serious about it, they will support you. And don't worry about the ones that don't. We get so caught up in the people that's not, Don't worry about that. Celebrate the ones that do. Y'all know I love that. Celebrate the people that celebrating you.
That's right.
All right. Well, we fixing to say good night. Y'all be sure to go to the Blood Blocked It. If you need Myiah, her number is going across the bottom of the screen, 504-373-3280. So she is putting it out there. You can contact her. You can go and order the book. You can do both. But whatever you do, share it. Whatever you do, share it. Because it might not be for you, but it's for somebody. It might be for you to give it to somebody, but support. Because Myiah is a supporter. If you have something that you're trying to do, she is 100% a supporter. So we want to support her. So please go and get the Blood Blocked It, get signed. She gonna have another book on the website, and it ain't gonna be very long because she is living it out right now. I wouldn't be surprised if it's on a movie before it's all said and done. So we're just speaking
Right.
those things because she's being obedient, and obedience is better than sacrifice. And so we're thankful for her here at Conversations with Celena, because she just done took me under her wing, baby, and it's been on and popping. It's been on and popping ever since. She got you, baby, talking about, I want to go see Miss Sunshine. I said, yes, indeed. And speaking of that, I saw like four three, yep, four of my little sunshines on today. So that blessed me to be able to see them. They wanted to see Sunshine as well. So it tickles me because I'm no longer Celena. I'm Miss Sunshine. And I accept that assignment and I don't take it lightly. And we love y'all. Please go ahead and share the video so that someone else can be blessed. And if this triggers anybody, let me put this in the bottom of the screen. I think I put it at the beginning, but I'm gonna make sure I put it at the end too, because we want to make sure that you get help. Seek professional help, because what we were talking about tonight was based on our personal experiences, and it was meant for informational and educational purposes. We want to educate you and we want to inform you, but it's all based on what we have been through. But if you have anything that you're going through, please seek professional help. If you call us, we're going to help you find professional help. So just know that, keep that in mind. We are here to help, but we're not professionals. We're the gateway to get you the resources that you need. So we love y'all so much. Have an amazing night. Know that Sunshine and Myiah Scott of the Blood Blocked It, we love you. And we
Yes,
are,
we do.
you cannot speak up for yourself. We are your voice and we are your advocate. That is our assignment. And we are so serious about it. And so, y'all have a good night. I'm going to go before I get teared all up again. And y'all keep it smiling, sunshine. Go out and share a smile and spread some sunshine. Mwah.
Bye.